What is going on, everybody? And y'all know today's a very special day in NFL. Uh, Tom Brady, the greatest NFL quarterback of all time, returns to New England. Y'all know the vibes, boys. It's just me here in studio, DJ, and no studio K today, but the man himself, Ravens fan, Lamar Jackson supporter, big time football guy, big time Gus Johnson guy. Mason Grice is joining us today. Mason, how the hell are you, man?
I'm doing good. Excited for the games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think you look at this slate today. I don't think you can't be excited. I think there's quite a few good games. I think there's quite a lot of possibilities for upsets today. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens there. Um, I will say, Mason, the game that I am just dying to watch right now is that Tampa New England game. Like, I'm not really a huge Tom Brady guy. I'm not a huge New England Patriot fan, but it's like, the homecoming games are always really good, really
Yeah.
just insane. What do you kind of are you as excited about that one? I know obviously Ravens and Broncos is a game that a lot of people have circled as well, but what do you how you feeling about that Sunday night game?
Honestly, I mean, for the sheer history, it's going to be a very important game. I've seen people comment on like Instagram, and they were like, someone was, I don't know, giving his take, and he didn't really look forward to the game, and someone commented, and they go, "This is one of the greatest coaches ever, one of the greatest players ever." So respect what you're watching. And I was kind of like, I like that. It makes sense. I'm not a big fan of either side, but I respect the history and what they've both done.
Well, and Mason, it's crazy to me is what I'm looking for is Belichick and Brady. If anybody knows what they don't do well or what they don't, aren't the
Yeah,
best at, it's those two. So I'm interested to see kind of the chess match today. I think I think this is a game that is, I said earlier in the week, I'm like, Tampa's going to blow them out. I've kind of leaned back on that pick. I think it's going to be a close, low scoring football game. Um, One because I think with the tribute video, all the pregame festivities, I think it's going to take him a minute to get into the game and build the same thing. I think everybody's going to be kind of just emotionally drained early, and
yeah.
then I think we'll see some good football late.
Another side note I'm excited with about that is Sherman's debut, how he does.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too. I mean, Tampa needs a secondary help. I mean, you saw that last weekend against the Rams. Cooper Cup had a huge game.
Yeah, man. Honestly, just their secondary is so injury filled with injuries.
But Mason, we'll take a deep dive into that in a little bit. But I wanna ask you, man, the Cincinnati Bengals. I know they're a division foe, but I mean they've looked solid this year. I mean 3-1 coming out of the gate. Picked up a win on Thursday night against Jacksonville, which I thought Jacksonville looked pretty solid. So did Cincinnati. I think both of these teams are kind of improving as weeks go on. But what did you kind of see from that game? What are some of your takeaways?
I think Cincinnati might be honestly a legitimate team this year. Like I kind of expected them to compete with the Steelers and worst for the worst in the division, but they're making the Steelers look like there's a large gap between those two because Cincinnati's playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my big question with Pittsburgh's the offensive line, but
Mm.
I mean, you look at them, they got weapons. Their tight end, who I haven't even heard of, had a great game last week. Um, and I think you're kind of seeing Zach Taylor kind of evolve into a coach as well. Um, I think a lot of people kind of take that first year when you come in, new system, new team. They kind of take that and they're really really hard on them about it. And I'm like, it kind of takes everybody a year to settle into something new. I mean, it took Tom Brady, 11 weeks to settle into Bruce Arians' offense. I
Yeah.
mean, Aaron Rodgers, obviously played well under Matt LaFleur in the first year, but then next year wins MVP. So I think, that development with Zach Taylor as a coach too, I think is really helping. And I honestly, Mason, I think Jacksonville, that they're quite a few players away.
Mhm.
Their roster just isn't there yet. But what I like about them right now is I'm seeing improvements each and every week from them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Now how do you feel about Trevor Lawrence so far? I mean, I don't know if you've watched much of him. I've thought he made some great throws, and I've thought he's made some bad throws so far.
I guess I haven't caught a lot of him. I was more when he got drafted. I was more concerned for his mental ability
Okay.
because I honestly, legitimately thought he had considerations to be a bust because he has never, he's never like lost in his career. He's always
Right.
used to winning everything,
Right.
and mentally, I think that takes a toll on players more than players in the NFL will admit, or even any sport. I think losing is hard, and I wish him the best. Obviously, I've never wished someone to be a bust, but I legitimately kind of concerned it could hamper on him, I guess, and make him have problems going down. Just in general, like adapting to the NFL because he's not
Right.
used to losing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a thing when it comes to a lot of college quarterbacks. It's like I think, in my opinion, the number one position where it's like you're used to succeeding. How do you handle failure?
That's a fair point. Now,
Some can do it, some can't.
do you think, Mason, that who do you think is like the best rookie quarterback wise so far? Because I don't think any of them have really looked that great. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously obviously you're talking about guys on not very great football teams. I would say probably the best team out of that is probably the Patriots with Mac Jones. But again, I mean, Mac Jones is coming into a very complicated offense in Josh McDaniels' offense. So it's hard to kind of gauge where these guys at. But who do you think is playing the best so far this
coming
season?
into the season, my favorite quarterback honestly was Zach Wilson.
Okay.
But from what I've seen, I'd actually argue the best right now. I know it's going to seem like kind of a biased opinion in a way because I'm going to say Trey Lance because he hasn't had to do a lot, so he's looked better. With what he's doing, he's being successful. They bring him in sparingly, he scores. He's not screwing up because he's not having the chance. So
Right.
it's helping his development in that way because he's not making mistakes. I mean, it's kind of the easy answer, but I feel like it's the most correct answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Other than that, it's probably Jones.
yeah. I mean, I don't think Lawrence has looked bad. I mean, my whole thing with it is like I feel like we just don't know enough about these guys yet. Like we haven't seen them play enough. Like Fields has played what? A couple snaps, a full game.
Yeah.
But again, he's going up against the Browns who have one of the best defensive lines in the league against
Mhm.
an offensive line that obviously is
Has
not
problems.
very not very good. I mean, you saw Myles Garrett single-handedly wrecking every single offensive
Mhm.
lineman on that line last week. So I think it's interesting. I think I'm excited to see kind of who kind of stands out as the year goes on because I think all of them have shown flashes of being really good. Um, I think obviously Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones will figure it out. I think he's going to have a solid game tonight. I think he has to for this game to be relatively close. You know
True.
what I mean? Um, but Mason, let's get into some football, man. We'll start off with the noon games. Let's start off with the game that they're actually talking about on my TV right now, which I think is a really good game in my opinion. The Carolina Panthers at the Dallas Cowboys. What are your thoughts on this game, and who do you like?
I think it's going to be a real test for the Panthers. Dallas, to be expected when Prescott comes back, they're going to be a pretty good offense. Their defense has been incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Bradley, I was reading on Instagram the one day that someone said he's probably one of the most elite defensive coordinators currently in the NFL.
Right.
He may not be a great head coach. He may be kind of an average head coach, but he's a really good defensive coordinator. And it's showing right now because they hardly brought in anyone different. If anything, all they did is brought some of his guys from Atlanta in. I mean,
Right.
that's really all they did. But at the end of the day, I'm really a fan of the Panthers this year. I really think the Panthers will win.
Now, you think the Panthers win this game? What's your score kind of looking like there?
It's going to be a close game. Probably, honestly, I'd argue it's going to be another one of those last minute, one team kicks a field goal to win it. Because I don't think either one of these teams stands out. I mean, if Carolina has Christian McCaffrey, it's different. But without him, I don't feel like they have that threat yet. DJ Moore's not that player yet. Robbie Anderson's been slow this year. They don't have that offensive weapon for Darnold. So that may be a problem in this game too, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Hubbard, but I don't know if he's there yet either.
So you like Carolina close?
Yes. I think Carolina's defense is ultimately better than Dallas's, though, by a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I would agree with that. I think, in my opinion, I think this is going to be one of the best games of the day. I think Dallas's defense has improved greatly from last season to this season. I mean, you see it. I think Micah Parsons bringing him in was huge. Trayvon Diggs or Trevor Diggs is really
Stefan's brother.
Improved as a player. I mean, he's had 3 picks in 3 games, so he's playing well. But here's the thing, Mason. I this Carolina Panthers team, man, I've watched almost every game that they've played this year. I mean, I try and watch every single game, just, a little bit here and there. But from what I've seen from the Panthers this year, I've liked what I've seen every time I watch them. So I think Carolina's a good football team, and I think they get this done today. I think somewhere along the lines of 27-23 is a good number and a good score. Mason just got a coffee delivered. Shout out Lauren for the coffee. Shout out. Amazing volleyball player from Christian Life High School. She won Player of the Week 2 weeks ago, Mason. Tournament.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Mason. Well, let's move to the game that they're talking about now. This is what I kind of do. I just kind of go with what they're talking about. But let's go to a game which I think has potential to be another good game today. The Browns at the Vikings, man. The Vikings, I feel like they should be 3-0. They're obviously not. They're 1-2. Kind of screwed up against the Bengals, and obviously missed that field goal against the Cardinals. But last week played well against Seattle. Mason, who do you like in this game? Browns at the Vikings. Who do you like?
I mean, to be fair, I don't like the Browns, being a Ravens fan, but I think they're gonna win.
Okay.
I think it will be another close game, though. I don't think there'll be many games that are like you can say, hey, there's a blowout. It's going to be a one-sided game. The Vikings are a very good team. People like to jokingly say they're the best 0-3 team, but they really are.
Yeah.
They're a better team than they're supposed to be. I think part of the problem, though, is from what I've seen, Kendricks and Barr haven't really played a lot. They're still injured from last year. Yep. So that's a major part of their defense. I'd argue probably the 2 best players on defense, besides Harrison Smith.
Yeah, I agree. I think really what this game comes down to is kind of just injuries as a whole. I think Dalvin Cook, him still being banged up, I think is kind of a big deal. Obviously Madison played great last week, but I think you're going to be able to need to run the ball against this Browns defensive front. And I think with Dalvin Cook being banged up, they're not going to be able to do that very effectively. I like the Browns today. I think it's going to be a closer game than some people are kind of anticipating here. I like the Browns somewhere probably 31-26 type deal, something like that. That's what I think. I think
I can be on board with that range.
I think part of it too. I think Odell and kind of looks back to his similar old self. I'm not going all the way back to his old self, but last week looked pretty solid. So I expect Odell to have a solid game this week. But Mason, let's move to a game which surprisingly on the Hot or Not with the Hot or Not Boys episode 3, I said we're my not hot team of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs going to Philadelphia. The Chiefs have obviously lost that thriller to the Ravens, which was an insane game. Obviously, we've talked about that one. And then last week, I mean, they dropped one to the Chargers, and they've lost 2 straight. Mahomes has lost his first 2 games in September in his career. Mason, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you see the Eagles being able to upset the Chiefs today?
I can see it, but I would anticipate the Chiefs getting it together. Also, another side note: this is a revenge game, basically for Andy Reid. Right. So that's a pretty big deal to him. I would imagine he would have his team pretty ready to go and to win this game. They don't want the upset. They don't want to go back to Philadelphia or to play them and look bad. Like, he wants to show the Eagles that they made the mistake. I think it has a chance to be an upset, though. But if the Eagles beat the Chiefs, that's really going to make the Chiefs' season look, honestly, pretty questionable. Yeah. They're already kind of looking like basically the opposite of what people expected them to be.
Right.
So if they lose to the Eagles, that would just make the media and people in general just question them even more.
Right.
But I'm gonna take what I would think is a safe pick, and I'm gonna say the Chiefs. I expect a win.
Mason, early in the week, I was looking at the games, and I kind of go through this because on Hot or Not, we do the lock and the upset of the week. So I kind of go through it, and I'm like, all right, what teams could I see getting upset? And I normally pick like 3 games, and I choose from one of those 3. And this Chiefs-Eagles game was the second one on my list. Obviously, we'll talk about the number 1 upset that I had this week. But I like the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be close. The Chiefs, to me, this year just don't look dominant. I mean, Mahomes looks uncomfortable at times. He looks like he's trying to do too much, which, I mean, obviously Mahomes can make plays. You know, he doesn't need to do too much. He can make plays with just playing ball. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. The turnovers, their defense hasn't looked very good. I have a lot of questions about the Chiefs, and this was one of the teams coming into the year, Mason, where I go, all right, what are teams I have questions about? Kansas City really was on my list of teams.
Never a concern.
And now I have a lot of questions about them. Mm-hmm. And I think they win today. I get your point about the Andy Reid revenge game. My whole thing is that, you know, I just can't pick against Mahomes here, especially when I know he has the better team and the better coach. I just think it's so hard to pull that trigger on the upset. But Mason, let's go to a game where I don't know really how to feel about this one. Colts at the Dolphins. What are your thoughts on that, and who do you have winning?
I honestly like the Colts. It'll depend on how Carson Wentz plays. But with Tua not playing, I feel like that really hurts the Dolphins' chances at winning.
Right.
Yeah. I would say, though, I honestly think the Colts have this one. They have the better team, I feel, but it's kind of close. It depends on what Carson Wentz you get. Is he going to be injured halfway through the game, like he is almost every week, or is he going to play the full game and is he going to be relatively good?
Right.
Oh, also a note that's really big: Quentin Nelson isn't playing.
Right.
So that probably arguably the best guard in the league is kind of a big deal when it comes to blocking.
Mason, man, this is tough for me because last week Jacoby Brissett looked really good to me against the Raiders. I watched a little bit of that game. This is tough. but I'm gonna go with the Colts only because I just got a gut feeling that they're due for a win. I mean,
Yeah.
the Colts are just a better than 0-3 team.
Mhm.
They just are. They don't scream 0-3 to me. I think they get it done. I think it's very close though. I think this one will be defensive. Brian Flores, very good defensive coach. Colts obviously have a
Yep.
pretty solid defense. I think like 2017, this will be super low scoring in my opinion.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But Mason, a game where I mean the Bills are just the better team. Texans at the Bills.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on this game? And let me ask you, so the line is 17.5. Do you think Texans cover that? Like, do you think they covered the 17.5 spread?
I honestly don't know much about like the line and stuff like that. Does that just mean that the Texans need to score that much?
No, so the Texans have to lose by less than 17 points.
Mm, I don't know. The Texans are such a team where it's like you expect them to be bad because they have next to no talent. But then they compete and they put together good games, and you're like, why didn't you guys try to just get a couple more players this offseason? Maybe you could have actually competed for the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels kind of weird how they built that team. So, uh, I have to say, this game kind of reminds me a lot of the Philadelphia and Kansas City game, where the
Yeah.
Bills are the obvious favorite, but will they step up to that level, or are they gonna? It's kind of one of those: are you gonna play down to your opponent, or you're not? The Bills are obviously the better team, but they also have games sometimes where you're kind of like, well, what are you guys doing? Like, clearly you should have won this.
Right. Yeah.
I'm picking Buffalo because I think it's too hard to pick against them. Josh Allen's a good quarterback. He's gonna have some bad weeks, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
to answer your question, I don't know. I'd have to say yes if the Bills show up like they did last week. But I think it was a couple weeks ago they didn't have a very good game. So it
Right.
depends on what team's going to show up, really.
Yeah, and I think the Bills have kind of figured it out um after week 1. Um
Yeah.
and I think that they're just going to roll today. Like I think probably like 34-17, something like that.
Hmm. They should be able to.
They should. And Mason, I think right now looking at the AFC is wide open, and I think Buffalo's kinda looking at it like, "Hey," like, Kansas City's kinda struggling, Baltimore has a loss, Cleveland has a loss, like, we need to start going if we wanna get that 1 seed.
Yeah. I don't think they get it, but I definitely think they're going to be a good playoff team. Higher, more wins, obviously. It's going to be a good team.
Right. Yeah, Mason, I think I got a hunch. But I just feel like Buffalo is probably the favorite in the AFC right now. I mean, who else are you throwing in there?
Yeah,
You know?
I'd argue right now you're probably right. A lot of the teams that are expected to be up there, they've either dealt with injuries or problems with the teams. Defense is not looking as good as they were expected to be. I mean, overall, like KC's the biggest one. Like being a Ravens fan, like I can criticize the Ravens, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, you guys don't look like you're supposed to be. But KC makes them look like they're not even a problem right now. KC looks really bad overall
Yeah.
compared to where they were supposed to be. I think Buffalo, yeah, has to be the favorite right now.
Well, and I think too, like before the year I said, I'm like the AFC to me is kind of wide open this year. And like, yeah, I still pick Kansas City to get to the Super Bowl. That it was Green Bay and Kansas City is what I think I picked. Um, but here's the thing: I said it was wide open, and like even more so, I believe that now. But Mason, join us now as our first guest. Stars on Hot or Not with the Hot or Not boys. Always be talking the betting line, dropping betting knowledge. The man himself, huge Michigan fan, Cooper Brinkman.
Let's
What's
go,
up, buddy?
baby. What up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
So get this, Doug. I was waiting in here to join, and I was watching on the iPad.
Hey, there we go. Love it.
I'm a big fan. I had to come in here real quick and give you my place for the day because I love
All
to
right.
give you my day.
All right, Cooper's betting advice. Mason Cooper is big into the sports betting, the spread lines, all that good stuff. So he's gonna
So
drop some knowledge for us.
yesterday was a decent day. I took Arkansas. They got walloped, so that was my L of the day. But I had Michigan, which was good.
Okay. Yep.
I also I went and I bet. I know this isn't football, but I bet with the Seattle Mariners magic. Mariners got it done. But for today, I like Kansas City -6 versus Philadelphia.
Ooh.
I think Kansas City's just up enough points to cover. I like the Titans -6 versus the Jets. I just think the Jets are that bad. I don't think the Jets are that
Even with all the injuries, Coop?
Yeah. Injuries. I still like – I mean, they still got Derrick Henry. I know it's going to be harder without the wide receivers. Obviously, the Jets are going to be stacking the box. I still like the Titans. And then I like the Packers -6. I think the Packers are going to have a good day. Steelers are very banged up as well.
You got any player props for today, Coop? You like?
Well, not today, but tomorrow. Mike Williams will continue his touchdown streak. I said it on Wednesday. I think Mike Williams is on fire. Well, he is on fire. I don't think so. I know he is.
Okay, Coop just lagged out. That happens. He'll be back. So Mason, let's talk about one of the games he brought up because we hadn't talked about that yet. Jets versus the Titans. Obviously the Titans are banged up heading into this game. The Jets have not looked good at all this year. I think they've scored a total of 6 points the last 2 games. Who do you like in this game?
What game? Titans. You said Titans.
Titans Jets. Yeah.
Part of me wants to pick the Jets just because the Titans really have no receivers. But at the end of the day, it's like that team is going to be a while. It's kind of like Jacksonville. They're going to be a while before they're relevant.
Right.
They might have their quarterback the future. They might have some young talent. But as much as I'm not a huge Derrick Henry fan, it's really hard to pick against Derrick Henry. He's probably going to have a huge game, honestly. So I'm going to pick the Titans for that reason.
I got you. I think Mason. This is a tough one. Cooper's back, but I think the Titans.
So take me out.
Oh damn, that sucks. I like the Titans to cover the 6. I think they win by like 10. I think
That was in my head. I was thinking 10.
I just don't know if the Jets can score. Like I don't think the Titans will score a lot because Julio and AJ are out, but like they got Derrick Henry. Like the man is insane. Like who on that Jets defense is tackling him?
They're gonna run the ball so much that Tannehill's gonna have a couple play action plays where he's gonna be able to open up and take a shot. And like you said, I just don't think the Jets can score. I really don't think the Jets are gonna put up more than maybe 17 points. Mm-hmm. And I think the Titans can put up at least 24. I think they can cover. I think they're a touchdown better than the Jets, even without their 2 best wide receivers.
All right, now let's move on to this game. Coop, is there a specific game you want to talk about? We have not.
There's a game that has my eye today.
Okay.
And it's not one I'm going to bet on because I'm so torn on it. It's the Browns and the Vikings because the Vikings are 2 plays away from being 3-0, and the Browns are a muffed punt away from being 3-0. I think these are really good teams. So, I mean, you look at the Vikings record and you'd be like, but they missed the field goal to win the game. Should have made that field goal. What was it, 35 yards? I mean, it was nothing. And then, Dalvin Cook fumbled versus the Bengals towards the end of the game. I believe Cook. So, I mean, they should be 3-0. Kirk Cousins has looked very good. No interceptions. I think he's got almost 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. So that's the game that I'm interested in. So many people I've seen were betting on the Browns. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. The Vikings, they've looked good. That's going to be an interesting game, though. That'll be fun to watch.
Cool. Me and Mason both have the Browns for that one. I think it'll be a good game, though. I think Dalvin Cook being banged up might hurt the Browns.
Yeah, if I had to pick straight up, like no betting involved, I'd take the Browns too. I also would take the Browns, but it's just I couldn't bet on it. I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
I'd pick the Browns. The Browns defense is good. They're going to get after Cousins today, obviously.
Cooper, game that we have not talked about yet. Washington at the Falcons. I think the Falcons' schedule kind of eases up here over the next month. What do you see kind of happening in this game? I think Washington's kind of looked not the best this year, obviously. And neither has Atlanta.
Game because obviously Atlanta's coming off their win, so they're at a high point, and then Washington's coming off of getting their behinds kicked by the Bills. So I mean, they're 2 teams who've been struggling. I would like to think Atlanta. I mean, I think Atlanta should win. I think Atlanta has enough talent to win, but again, that's another one. That's a coin flip game. They've been so inconsistent.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think the Falcons have the better quarterback, and I think that's what you need to win the game. So I would take the Falcons on that one. By a close game, though. Close game.
Okay. Mason, what are your thoughts on that game? Who do you like?
I feel like it's another one of those. You don't know what Atlanta team's going to show up. Like,
exactly.
They're a team has the talent, but they still manage to just screw games up. Even when they had Julio, still managed to screw games up, and it's like, you're better than this. I've honestly always kind of liked Atlanta, but they just managed to screw things up. But in this game, I just feel like Washington's always going to be a lot of times this year is going to be a team I'm going to pick because I really like their defensive line.
Yeah,
it's incredible. They have built probably the best D-line in the NFL. And it's deep. It's not like it's just your starters. They've got rotational backups that could be starters. And I don't know. For me, it's just Washington. As long as their offense doesn't make mistakes. I don't really trust their offense any more than I did last year. I don't think they improved their quarterback play. But it's a team that I feel like their defense can keep them in games and win games for them.
I agree with both points. But Koob, I like your point a little more. The quarterback, man. It's what I look for. I trust Matt Ryan a little more than Taylor Heineke.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I agree with you guys. Like, we don't know which one of these teams is showing up. Like,
it'll be a low-scoring game. I think that's one thing we could agree on. That it'll most likely be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I like Atlanta like 20 to like 17, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely something like that. I don't think no one's gonna bust in 90-yard plays and 60-yard plays, and it's probably just going to be a slower, low-scoring football game today.
Excuse me. So cool. This is actually one of the games where I was kind of thinking about doing as my upset of the week on Hot or Not. This was one of the 3 I had. Giants at the Saints. The Saints are favored by 7. Is that game? That game's being played at the Superdome, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're back. So, Cool. What do you think about that game? You think the Giants cover that? I think the Giants cover for sure.
I like the Saints in that one. Back home, I think it's going to be rocking. Saints did their job last week on the road. I think they'll do it again at home. I think the Giants are also that bad. Daniel Jones has been so disappointing. And, the Giants are just bad. They're just a bad football team. And Jameis has a little magic left in him still, so I'll take the Saints -7.
Ooh. All right, Mason. What are your thoughts on this game? Giants at the Saints, first game back in the Superdome.
I like your guys' point. I think the Saints will have an incredible home field advantage because of that. But even if they didn't have the home field advantage, I really think the Saints are the better team over the Giants.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the Giants are one of those teams that's just like, I don't feel like they have all the pieces yet to make them a competitive team. I don't think Daniel Jones is a bad quarterback, but they're still just not a complete team. And I'm not saying the Saints are a complete team either, because I feel like there's gonna be problems with them this year too. But I'll take the Saints, and especially with them coming back to the Dome, like that's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I agree. What worries me about the Giants that the Giants, they say they have the running back, they got receivers, they got Shepard, they got Galladay, and if they have their guy in Jones, I mean, you just expect their offense to be better. It just hasn't been. I mean, last week was so disappointing against Atlanta. It was such a disappointing week. I thought I didn't think the Giants were going to be good at all. I'm not sitting here thinking I thought the Giants would win 10 games, even 8 games, but I didn't think they'd be this bad. They looked real bad.
Yeah. I like the Saints close. But boys, join us now. Coop, I want to keep you around for this game because I know you had a pick on this one for hot or not. Join us now. Huge Broncos fan. Kyle Gomez. You can follow him on Twitch. Go check him out. Gomez, how we doing, buddy? Bronco Nation.
It's Broncos country.
All right, bro.
We ain't taking that from the Raiders. They can keep that. It's like they've been keeping the basement for the last 20 years. That's fine.
Hey, I don't know, Gomez. Y'all tied for the division lead right now, bro.
Yeah, but we all know who's the best, and don't say the Raiders.
Ooh. Hey,
don't
man.
say the Raiders.
Hey, man, you better be careful. My boy Deuce Schick will get you, man. He's a big DC fan.
I'll be here. I'll be waiting.
Ooh.
No. Hi, welcome. Hi.
Gomez, thanks for swinging by, man. Appreciate it. I love the fit. I actually found my old Broncos hat last night that my dad got me when he was out of town. And I was wearing it, and I sent Mason a picture, and I go, "Let's go Broncos, baby, let's go,
let's go, dude." Fun fact, just real quick, and this one's for Mason. Mason, did you know that the Ravens in Denver are 5-1? Did you know that? The only loss is the one that we don't talk about. Which is the divisional playoff game, in 2013?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Joe Flacco bomb.
The only reason that play happened is because Raheem Moore had 2 brain cells. That's it. That's the only reason why.
It was so bad.
If he makes a play on that ball, Broncos win the Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco looked like he just threw an absolute dime, and he didn't. He just threw it up and far.
Joe Flacco closed his eyes and said, "I believe in Jesus in this throw."
It was 100%.
All right.
All right, Duncan, let's get to it. Bring it up.
Let's go. So this game, this game was a hot topic all week. I think a lot of people were talking about it. Baltimore, obviously, coming in there 2-1, 2 straight wins. I mean, last week, Justin Tucker with an absolute 66-yard bomb of a field goal through the uprights. Y'all know. The Broncos, man, 3-0. They've played like literally the worst teams in the league, but it's all right. Still 3-0.
You can only play the games on your schedule, man, and they did it really well too.
Hey, I hear you, man, but Mason was sending me stuff all week about how their combined teams that they've played were 0-9, so I had to sprinkle that in there, Gomez. All right, I have to be objective here, but Cooper, let me start with you, man, and then we'll toss it to the two fans of the teams playing this game next. But Coop, what are your thoughts on this game?
Wednesday when we did the show, at the time, the Ravens were the underdog, and I jumped all over that. I think the Ravens are going to have a good week, and like you alluded to, I just can't go Broncos when they've played those three. I know you play who's on your schedule. They've done an outstanding job. Teddy's looked great. I mean, Teddy's looked better than anyone would have expected.
Teddy Two Gloves has yet to throw an interception. The best quarterback in football. We talk about that. Teddy Bridgewater.
Gomez.
I couldn't go against them. I think Lamar's going to have a good week this week. I had to go with the Ravens. I took the Ravens +1. That was my upset of the week right there.
I don't know about that. Mason, what do you have to say? What do you think?
I mean,
do you have anything to add on to that?
It's going to be a close game. Like, there's not Brett have said previous. Most of these games are going to be close games. It's just the way the NFL is. I obviously could never pick against my favorite team.
You could.
I just can't do it. I don't think many people can do it.
I could. Last 4 years as a Bronco fans have not been fun.
There are two games this year where I'll pick against the Packers.
Ooh.
Well, yeah.
We'll get to that when we get there. Cool. Don't worry.
Well, to be fair, that KC Ravens game, I mean, I picked the Ravens, but I didn't really pick the Ravens. I was like, yeah, KC's gonna win, but I felt the Chiefs would win. So I guess I technically picked against them in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think Denver's defense is really good.
The best in the league.
But I also think the Ravens defense is better than anything the Chiefs or the Broncos have played. And I'm going to go with the Ravens, but it's going to depend on how the Ravens offense and the run game goes against the Broncos defense.
Mason, what's your score? What's the score? You got to give me a score for this.
I'm so bad at scores.
I know.
Yeah, I kind of go with like 31-28, something along the lines, maybe 28-24. Between 20 and 30 range. It's not going to be like immensely high scoring, but it's not going to be – I don't think it's going to be like really under like 20.
Justin Tucker might make a 75-yard field goal.
Nope. I've seen people say that if he's going to beat the record, he's going to do it in Denver.
75-yard bombs.
Gomez, I need your thoughts, man.
I will say this. The Ravens could easily be 3-0 or 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't been convincing for me. The biggest win on their schedule was against the Chiefs, which was awesome, but the Chiefs haven't been looking like themselves either. So there's that. I'm almost losing to an awful Lions team. That's where everybody's just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna look past that. Without Justin Tucker having the most roided up leg of all time, they lose that game every time.
Well, and also Gomez, they had to convert a 4th and 16, which the Lions don't know how to play defense in 4th or long or Hail Mary situations. Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson have proven that.
Well, okay, so wasn't there like was it a delay of game that wasn't called or something too?
Nope. It was.
So I don't know, man. Like, it's the NFL likes stories. So hey, even though they had nothing to do with that kick, they wanted that opportunity to break the record, I guess. You shook your head when I said that the Broncos have the best defense in the NFL. Statistically, that is correct. But as far as like who they've played, 2 rookie quarterbacks and Daniel Jones. So we won't. Yeah. So I mean, you take that with whatever you want. It's the professional football league. You're dealing with professionals. So, I mean, I don't know. But if they don't have the best defense in the league, they definitely have the best secondary, no matter what. Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, the best free safety duo since probably Ed Reed and I don't know. Mason, help me out here. Is there another? Okay. Well,
they had Juwan Landry at that time, but
Ed
Reed's the guy.
Hey, you forgetting about Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas?
Oh, yeah. I don't like to think about that past Seahawks team.
Legion of Boom.
You have to understand, like, we've been through a lot. Like Peyton's forehead and not throwing well in the cold.
I know,
but
I'm just saying.
But yeah, no, that it's really fun to watch the defense play no matter what. If you have a defense like the Broncos, it's always going to be close. The trick is, and I've noticed this in the last couple of games, Denver's time of possession has been crazy. That is something that nobody's been talking about. Teddy Bridgewater and the offense have been out on the field for, it seems like 10 minutes at a time every time they take the ball, which is so important. They could score like 10 points, but as long as the defense is playing well and the Broncos have the ball, hey, that's all that matters. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in the game. I think it's going to be closer than what y'all are saying. I think it's going to be like a 20-17 kind of game. Denver hasn't scored more than 30 points this year. So that's why I say that. And 2, it's just going to be just taking time off of the clock, making sure Lamar Jackson doesn't go to the bathroom when, things are down in the dumps, literally. And I really like Javonte Williams too. I think he's going to have a great game. I think he's going to have over 100 rushing yards this game with a touchdown. I really, really like Javonte Williams. Yeah.
I hope Javonte Williams has a touchdown. Gomez, I got him on my fantasy team.
That's good. I have Melvin Gordon on mine, so I hope he gets at least 2, but we'll see. Another thing I will say is just this game is really a very important game, one of the most important games Denver's had in a long time. I will say this is even bigger than a playoff game. This is Denver's best start since 2016. Like, you have no idea like how much there is like writing on this. If we beat Baltimore, which granted, even if they do, people will say that, well, it wasn't legit, whatever. If it does happen, then I think Denver is a team to be reckoned with.
Gomez, the people that say it isn't legit, are you referring to the guy in the top right corner, or are you referring to a media personnel out there? Or a little bit of both?
I guess a little bit of both. Mason, no matter what, he will give credit to the victor, especially if it's the Ravens. But I think no matter what, he'll give fair credit as far as like, other media. The media, I think, historically never been a fan of the Broncos. So it's like, that's fine. That's fine. Always downplaying their accomplishments. I'm gonna try and not be biased, but that's why you brought me on, is to be biased. So here I am.
Right. Yeah.
And I also want to talk about Von Miller being back, the AFC Defensive Player of the Month, the future Super Bowl MVP, the future NFL Comeback Player of the Year, number 5'8" out of Texas A&M. How can you forget about the Vonster, dude? The monster. Dude, hey, Von Miller, he's going to have, I think, 3 sacks. Lamar's just going to put his hands up in the air and be like, take me, Von, because I have nowhere to go. I haven't seen a lot of, as much as Lamar Jackson's been talked about, I've seen like no games live from him, I guess, besides like that Chiefs game earlier in the year. So I don't really see how he acts under pressure. So that, I mean, I won't be able to watch the game because I'll be at work. But Denver has a great pass rush, and they are one of the best like run stopping teams in the league. So that it'll be fun to watch. Definitely something that they haven't faced quite yet, like as far as dual threat. But yeah,
Gomez.
Yep.
Gomez. Oh, this is tough for me, man. Because honestly, like the Broncos have been always like kind of like one of my teams that, like, you know, if they're kind of in it, I'm kind of like, okay, like I get behind the Broncos. Obviously, you know, I'm always objective or try to be objective. And with you saying that Lamar hasn't done well under pressure, I mean, did you not see that jump pass to Hollywood Brown for the touchdown?
Well,
did you not see him scramble outside the pocket against the Raiders and throw an absolute dart? I mean, Gomez, here's the thing, man. Okay. I'm very objective about Lamar. Mason knows this. You know, I tell the truth. I tell the truth about Lamar Jackson, all right? This dude has played decent this year, man. Like, you gotta tone back the hate. Like, I get all this, you know, I get all this Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, the defense, all that good stuff. I get that. I understand that, but you know, I don't know, man. I just got a gut feeling that with what you kind of talked about with this being a lower scoring game, who do I trust in this spot, kicker wise? I'm gonna trust Justin Tucker, the big man himself, to put a field goal through the heart of Denver, Colorado.
My gosh.
And I like the Baltimore Ravens to win 24-21 today.
Here's what's going to happen.
Mason Grice, #objectivity.
Here's what's
here.
Justin Tucker, he's going to be lining up the kick.
Oh.
He's going to be doing like that, right? And then as soon as he starts his steps, like just trying to kick the football, does the Charlie Brown. The snap, muffled, whatever, and then Pat Surtain, for some reason, is on the field goal team, takes the football, runs it back, Denver wins. If anything, this game goes to overtime. That would be fun.
Also, boys, just got a text from Jake. He's watching right now. Shout out to Jake. Mason. Jake has Baltimore winning as well today.
Damn.
That's fine. We can be underdogs.
Mason, we all in the Ravens flock, baby. We flocking today. That's all I know. Gomez, bro. I'm sorry, but I just trust Justin Tucker, bro. I trust Justin Tucker, man.
Well,
and also I trust John Harbaugh more than I do Denver's coach.
Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
One of the best defensive minds out there.
Yeah, John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the league. Vic Fangio is not one of the best coaches in the league.
Well, that's been obvious.
he's like top 15, but John Harbaugh is like
I will say this: Denver has yet to lose a game in 6 weeks. They, including preseason, 6-0. Hey, take what you want from that, right?
Hey.
But winning is contagious. And most of those wins on the road. Road Warriors.
Okay. Well, Gomez, thank you for coming on and bringing your Broncos knowledge. Greatly appreciate it. It was really fun chatting it up with you. If you want to stay around, we got a couple more games left to pick. If you have to head out, that is A-okay.
No, I could hang around for, I guess, however much longer you want me around. I guess, yeah. I don't have any plans.
Well, we got 5 games left to pick. Trying to keep these under an hour, 20 minutes. So, trying to probably wrap this up in about 20, 25. Does that work for you?
Yes, sir. That works fine.
All right. Let's talk about my team now. Let's talk about a man who only needs 37 seconds to get his team into field goal range. Money Mason, baby, 52-yarder through the heart of San Fran. The Green Bay Packers. Mason, I tried to tell you he was a bad man. I tried to tell you. I tried again, and you wouldn't listen to me. He's a bad freaking man. Pittsburgh Steelers at Green Bay. Who you guys got? Had to do it.
Wait, the Steelers are in Green Bay?
Yeah, Steelers at the Packers.
Okay. Who have the Packers played this year?
The Saints, the Lions, and the 49ers.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that you won't be happy with.
Don't start.
I think the Packers overrated. They lose to Jameis Winston and the Saints week 1. You beat up on a Lions team that I hope that you beat up. It was in Lambeau, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're playing a battered down a Ben Roethlisberger whose soul has left his body like 4 years ago. His arm noodle. Most of his passes this year have been 5 yards. No, sorry, I'm getting this down. I think within 5 yards. It hasn't. He doesn't throw it long anymore, which is it's depressing. I think the Packers win this game.
Okay.
But I don't think it means anything. I think until they get another opponent like San Francisco, the best victory they've had was San Francisco.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, Gomez, is most of the national media was picking against them in that game, and we won. Even my dad said we were going to get blown out, and look at what happened.
What can you blame them though?
Bleeping Rodgers. Mason, go ahead. I cannot. Gomez, bro. I said some nice things about your Denver Broncos.
You chose against them. I don't want to hear it.
You gotta come at me like that.
This man says Justin Tucker from 75 yards. Get out of here.
That was not me.
Oh,
I don't think he makes a 75-yarder. I think it's more like a 52-yard.
Oh no, he doesn't even get close. The Ravens. Okay, whatever.
I'd have to say though, Packers, and honestly, I kind of agree with Gomez. It's not going to be a game that really matters. The Packers have to win the game, and if they show any kind of hiccups, it's kind of like people are just going to question them again. Kind of with the Saints. I mean, Rodgers just got to go out and put up a bunch of touchdowns or just run the ball. It's one of those games that literally the Packers are going to be expected to put up at least 3 or 4 touchdowns, if not more. Because
how funny would it be for Aaron Rodgers to throw like 3 picks? Like, I like Aaron Rodgers. I'm a fan of him. I was against him, like, in any talk of him coming to Denver. So, I don't know. This could be a trap game for the Packers as well. It's the Steelers. I don't think they've ever gone 1-3 under Ben. Is that true or no? I don't know. I haven't seen them be 1-3 ever. So if they do, I guess it would be against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. But yeah, I don't know. I hope whatever happens, Devontae Adams goes off because he's on my fantasy team.
Hey, all I know, boys, all I know is that I said after week 1, I said, hey, man, I still believe in my football team, still believe in this team to win football games, still believe in this team to make it out of the NFC, still believe in this team to win the division. I'm not wavering from that. Give me Packers minus whatever it is, 7.5. You lock that in. You take that all day. Big Ben, noodle arm. TJ Watt, Juju Smith-Schuster. I believe Chase Claypool isn't playing either. A lot of their guys are banged up. Okay. I think the Packers should easily win this game. I think they will. And then I think, that next week we get ready for the Cincinnati Bengals and, we feeling good. But that's all I got. Packers like 38-20, something like that.
Packers by 40.
I wouldn't even give the Steelers 20 points. You're being too generous.
Nah, they'll get a garbage time touchdown there, Mason.
Yeah, but
boys,
that's almost 3 touchdowns.
But boys, Seahawks at 49ers. Mason, who do you like?
Honestly, I like the Seahawks. The 49ers just don't look like they're all there yet. When you have to bring Trey Lance in for Jimmy G from a time to time, that shows you how much confidence you have in Jimmy G. Like, I just think their offense is not put together the way it was when they made the Super Bowl, I should say.
Oh, didn't San Francisco also back then run a 2-quarterback system with Steve Young and Joe Montana? That's kind of, yeah. I don't know, like the Trey Lance thing coming in, I don't think that doesn't show any confidence in the offense. What I think it means is they have specific packages for these guys, right? Trey Lance, more mobile, and they're like, what are they gonna do with Trey Lance in a live game situation? I think it's a good way for them to like kind of guess, like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. Jimmy G, I don't think he's been the same since that Super Bowl loss too. So I don't know, but yeah, I have the Seahawks too.
I thought Jimmy Garoppolo played solid last week, boys. I don't know about y'all, but
it's just 1 week.
I thought him leading the team down, getting that touchdown to put him ahead, and then the man himself went down 37 seconds, but it's fine.
I will say, sorry, real quick. Was on the Facebook comment section for the 49ers. None of them are a fan of Jimmy G right now. They
all want Trey Lance.
Yeah. They saw him smiling at the end of the game. They're like, only Jimmy Garoppolo would be smiling at the end of a loss. I'm like,
well, I mean, dude, honestly, like him and Shanahan said it. Like they were just like, Jimmy G let him down the field. He did what people said, like he's not very good at, and it wasn't enough. Hey, it happens. But, boys, this is a tough game for me to pick. Here's the thing, man, okay? The Seattle Seahawks team is 1-2. I got a lot of questions about them. The San Francisco 49ers team's 2-1. I got a few questions about them. 2 teams I got questions about.
What are the questions?
Can Seattle's offensive line hold up against their D-line?
Nope.
Exactly.
They have one of the worst lines in the league.
And can Jimmy Garoppolo repeat what he did last week and play a good, solid game and not turn the football over? Well, he turned it over once, but actually, he turned it over twice. Never mind. Jimmy G can't take care of the football. Here's the thing, okay? I think the difference in this game is a man from the Ohio State University by the name of Nick Bosa. I like the 49ers in a close one, 28-27. Nicholas Bosa, 2.5, 3 sacks today. Book it.
Russell Wilson has never gone 1-3 in his career. Russ wins this game.
Nope.
Nick Bosa trying to tackle Russ Wilson to seal the deal, and he slips on something. That's how it's go down.
Mason, are you surprised it took an hour and 4 minutes to get to the Ohio State University?
Actually, yeah, no, I thought it would have been sooner. Yeah, definitely.
That has to be like a record for you.
Trying to be unbiased, boys. Trying to be unbiased, boys. Cardinals at the Rams. I like the Rams by a solid amount. Gomez,
by a solid amount?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Dude, have you not seen them play this year, Gomez?
I've seen Matthew Stafford is my pick for MVP this year. This game. Not only is this a divisional game, but I think people are sleeping on the Cardinals right now. Even though they won on a fluke last week with Minnesota being Minnesota, missing kicks in important situations, which I love that curse, by the way. That has to be the best curse in football.
Honestly.
But no, I think, man, it would be awesome for the story of Kyler Murray to beat the Rams. I think the Rams win, but by like, oh gosh, it's. I think every game this week is going to be close except for the Bucs and Patriots. But yeah.
We'll talk about that next.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I think Matthew Stafford has a great day, but no, I don't think it's a convincing win. I think it's close.
Mason,
I'm kind of on the same train. Like, Stafford's my MVP favorite. I think he's going to throw a few touchdowns, not make many mistakes. But the Cardinals are also probably, I'd say, one of my teams that I'm like really behind this year. Like, they have a lot of talent, and it's a divisional game, which means even more too. It's going to be a very close game, but I got to go with the Rams because Stafford's my MVP favorite.
I will say the Rams version of Stafford is my favorite. Not only does he look good in those colors, but he isn't depressed being in the city of Detroit, which is the best.
It's good, yeah.
Hey, all I know, fellas, Rams by 10, 34-24. Matthew Stafford is going to get me a major amount of fantasy points again, like last week, 35 points. Shout out Matthew Stafford, baby. Rams win. I like them as a football team. I mean, they got my guy, too, Jalen Ramsey. That man different. I love cornerbacks, Gomez. I love Gilmore. I like Jair, obviously, Packers. I like Xavier Howard. I mean, heck, Marlon Humphrey's my guy. Jalen Ramsey, too. I mean, I can just keep it going. Patrick Surtain, I like him, too. He's one of my favorite rookies. Probably behind Fields.
What about the future rookie of the year, Pat Surtain II? PS2.
I just said it. I don't think you said Surtain.
Him. He did say it.
Dude, okay, then I guess my brain isn't here. I swear
he just said he was his favorite rookie behind Fields.
Oh, he just said it. Okay, my brain didn't.
Yeah, you were too busy coming up with your reply.
Brett, my bad. That's me. That's me.
Hey, it's all right, man. But
speaking of Justin Fields,
let's talk about a game tonight, guys, that I think will be the most watched game in regular season NFL history. The homecoming of a man that won 6 Super Bowl titles in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady. GOAT versus GOAT, if you will. Tom Brady saying, hello from the other side.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was bad. Okay, Gomez. I tried rehearsing that. My voice is kind of gone after the past 2-3 days. But you know what? It's all right. Tom Brady saying hello from the other side. There we go. So much better. Boys, this is, I think, a talent mismatch, but I think it's going to be close. Mason, me and you talked about this a little bit to open the show. You got two of the greatest minds in football who know each other's strengths, know each other's weaknesses. What's going to happen? Mason Grush, I'll start with you.
This is I kind of think another one of those games where it's like the Bucs are expected to win, but it's definitely going to be. I don't want to say I don't think it could be a blowout because I think Belichick will, like you said, he knows his weaknesses, Brady's weaknesses, and I think he'll use some of those. Ultimately, the Bucs are going to win. They're a more talented team, but Gronk not playing is questionable. Like I hinted earlier, I really want to see if how Sherman does with the Bucs.
Yeah.
Because he's looking slow and old. Is he going to look like his old self? How is he going to play? Because I'm not saying Mac Jones is the best quarterback in the league, but if Sherman looks old and slow, he might take advantage of that.
Is he starting?
I'm pretty sure.
Dude,
I know he's playing, but I don't know if they're playing
I
like
saw
starting.
that he was going to play today too. No, I don't think he starts. Or wait, wasn't the Bucs like they were like down to like one of their last corners on the roster, right? Okay.
Their three top guys are injured.
I think so. I think the Buccaneers beat the Patriots pretty badly today, no matter the emotion surrounded around this game. The Patriots lost to the Dolphins week 1. They lost really badly to the Saints at home. There is that thing where Belichick been with Tom for most of his career, knows what he likes and doesn't like. Tom Brady doesn't like to throw to the outside numbers. He likes to throw in the middle of the field. But I don't think there's anybody on that Patriot defense, as far as like corner wise, that can keep up with Mike Evans or Charles Godwin or any of those guys. Did I say Charles Godwin? Chris Godwin. Hey, you know what? He's a god at the end of the day, anyways.
Okay.
But no, I think the Patriots get blown out at home for one of the most disappointing Sunday night football games of all time. I do like the story behind it, but no, it's not even close.
Gomez, I completely disagree.
I guess you wouldn't be you if you didn't disagree with me. With Mason, man.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
We've been treated to some great primetime games this year. Great. Raiders, Ravens, Chiefs, Packers, Niners last weekend. Been treated to some great ones.
I agree.
And this is going to be the best of all of them. You are talking about a man in Bill Belichick who, like Mason pointed out with the whole Andy Reid thing, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, man, they're the GOATs, man. I mean, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. I mean, I love Vince Lombardi like the best of them. I got a Vince Lombardi picture right over there.
Of course he does. Why?
I love Vince Lombardi. Love that man. But Bill Belichick should go to coaching. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. I love that man that he is from the University of California, Berkeley. I love Aaron Rodgers, but he ain't the GOAT. Peyton Manning, love him. He ain't the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. And it is gonna be a day. It's gonna be a great day. I like Tampa Bay 27-24. I think they have the better football team. But we are going to get treated to a great Sunday night football game tonight.
You think Mac Jones is going to let the Patriots score 20? The Patriots have only scored over 20 points once this year, and that was against the Jets.
Gomez.
The Jets? No.
Gomez.
No, dude,
hey,
no
Gomez.
way.
Gomez.
No,
Gomez.
This guy's
27-24. Hey, Gomez. You know what the best part about this show is, dude?
What?
Everybody gets their own opinion on who they think's gonna win.
You're right.
You can agree, you can disagree with it. I still think Tampa wins, but I think it's close. And by the way, if it's a really close, good game, just be prepared, man.
I don't think
Little Instagram DM waiting for you, buddy.
I want Mac Jones to be the best quarterback in this class. I like Mac Jones. I watch a lot of college football. I want him to be the most successful Alabama quarterback in the NFL like ever. I want Mac Jones not to be the next coming of Tom Brady, but I want him to be good. He is not going to be good. He is playing against one of the best defenses in the league. A rookie, he's not going to know what to do. I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Well, Gomez, let me get your thoughts here real quick on a man that is playing like an MVP candidate, a man by the name of Derek Carr, going into SoFi Stadium playing the Denver Broncos. Los Angeles Chargers.
Hey,
Los Angeles Chargers. Your Bronco hat keeps messing with me, bro. It's all good. It's all good. I like the Raiders in this game. Gomez, who do you like? Raiders at the Chargers here, SoFi Stadium.
Jeez. It's an AFC West matchup. The AFC West, one of the best divisions in football. I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. I think the Chargers upset the Raiders at home. Not only because
the Chargers
I
are
hate
favored.
the Raiders. Huh?
The Chargers are favored by 3.5.
Oh, are they really?
Yes.
Yeah, no. I like Derek Carr. It's a shame he's on the Raiders because I really like Derek Carr. I think the Chargers win. I really like Justin Herbert. I hope he blows up because he's my starting quarterback in fantasy. Austin Eckler. I don't know. Watching that, all of my Raider knowledge is from week 1. I don't know if he's gotten better or not, but that offense week 1 was not super impressive.
Okay.
Not to me anyways, but I don't know. Never been a fan of the Raiders. I hope they lose the rest of the games this season. I hope they tie. With the Chargers. Okay. But I think the Chargers win.
Mason, quick pick for this game. What are you thinking?
I like the Chargers too. I think
bolt
the
up.
Chargers are one of the teams. What?
Bolt up. That's their thing.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag Raider Nation, baby.
Chargers are one of those teams that for me this year that I just really like, kind of with the Cardinals, the Panthers. I think they're going to be better than people thought coming in. The Broncos, I like them too. They're just the teams that I expect to do better than people anticipated to start the year.
Yep.
And Justin's a good quarterback. And Mike Williams apparently is the best receiver in the NFL, so there's that too.
I mean, Cooper seems to
I'm joking, but he's been playing pretty good.
Well, I mean, Cooper's got his player prop going, Mason. So we'll see what happens with that. Boys, just real quick here. Jake did send me his picks for today. Some surprises in here. He's got the Ravens, Mason. He's got the Ravens.
Man, I can't wait for y'all to take that L today. Every single one of you.
So he's got Washington, Buffalo, the Lions, because he says the Bears suck. He didn't even want me to say that. He didn't even want me to say that because Jake said the Bears are banned from being talked about, so we don't talk about them. Dallas, Indianapolis, Cleveland, New Orleans, Tennessee, Kansas City, the Rams, San Francisco, Baltimore, Green Bay by a lot, Tampa Bay, and then Los Angeles Chargers. So I'm the only one on the Raiders. Gomez, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Mason, thank you so much for filling in for Jake today. It was a lot of fun talking with you guys today. The man himself is in the comments. Look at that. Jake, what's up, buddy? I kept the Bears talk to a minimum, Jake. I know you said they're banned, but I just had to read your pick real quick, okay?
Did you even make their pick?
Mason, it's banned from being talked about.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you didn't even talk about that.
Justin
Mason.
Fields throws 5 picks and then is never to play in the NFL again.
So you think Lions win, Gomez?
Oh yeah,
Mason.
I don't. Sorry, I'm gonna say this real quick. I don't think Justin Fields is awful. It's his first year. However, that Bears team does not know what they're doing.
Yeah. See, Mason, quick pick for that game, just so we get it on the air.
I mean, honestly, I'm picking the Bears, but it depends. If Detroit shows up like they did last week against the Ravens, it's hard to pick against them. That was a good game for them. But I just think the Bears I think will figure it out. It's a different team than going against the Browns D-line.
I like the Bears because Justin Fields is starting. That's all I'm going to say. Boys, thank you so much for joining me. Jake, we kept the Bears talk to a minimum. Don't be mad at me. I'm sorry we had to make the pick. Sorry. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys tune in to the weekly walkthrough. Tomorrow, we will be live with Coach Haas and a couple of the players talking about that big win by the Firebirds last night against Milliken. They put up 60 points again. We'll talk all things about that. Make sure you boys stay tuned for more great content coming. We got hockey talk with Dylan Griffin this week. Hey, if you guys want to see Mr. Kyle Gomez back on the Sunday show, leave a comment down below. If you guys want to see Mason Gresh back on the Sunday show, comment down below. You boys did a great job today. Huge shout out to Koo for joining us, giving us some betting advice, all that good stuff. Good luck in fantasy this week. Good luck in fantasy this week to all you fantasy guys out there. And have a great day, everybody. Boys, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. That was a lot of fun.
Same.